Welcome back to Vegas Live with Ninon. I have Joan Peck with me. She is an author, an amazing woman. Well, I don't know how amazing she is, but we're going to find out exactly what she's up to. She's always laughing. She's a happy person. So you must be Angels Out of the Dark.
Yes.
Angels Out of the Dark. I love that title.
Isn't that a great title?
I love that title. I love angels. She doesn't know it, but I collect angels.
Oh my.
Yes, I collect angels. I love angels. I think they hang around all the time. They're always there for me.
They're there for everyone.
Well, yeah, they're for everybody, but I'm not.
Yes.
I'm just talking about where they are with me for the moment.
That's what counts, right?
Well, at the moment, yeah.
Yes.
Kind of, as long as somebody else,
I get it.
You got it. So, what made you an author?
Well, I've always wanted to write, and I have a twin sister.
Oh, how lovely.
Yes, and we wrote when we were in our 20s.
Oh,
and
nice.
We won an award. We came in third on
That's
a
an
short
award.
story. Yes, and we found that we wrote very differently.
Really?
I'm more of a down-to-earth. She's has a lighter touch.
She's more romantic and
Yes.
more light,
Yes,
and you're
and-
sort of, well, no, it's not like that. It's like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, I kill people with because I write murders.
Well, I was
stories.
reading the back of this book, and it was talking. Well, not this one, the other one you gave her. And I was reading it, and I was thinking, is this in real life, or is this sort of a murder?
It is a murder. I have a murder.
You have murder syndrome in your body.
I do.
She knows
I do.
how to write. She knows how to kill someone.
I have the Death Card series, and it is about a 32-year-old psychic who reads tarot cards, and every time the death card comes up, there's a murder, and she has to find out who done it.
She doesn't actually do the murder, but she
Yeah.
has to find out
Who
did
done
Now, that person being murdered, that could be anywhere in the world.
Yes.
Or is it just, yes,
Yes, it could be, but it's usually
around the immediate area?
Yes, and most of the books that I've written so far, most of the fiction books I've written so far, have been in Las Vegas.
So, you live in a fantasy world.
I do.
A fantasy world.
It's a great world.
A fantasy world. But it's so funny. You fantasize all these things that happen, but you're able to put them down in writing. I've often wondered, how do you do that? How do you do that? As you're writing it, do things come into your mind as you're writing?
Yes. I am what is called a pantser, which
A
means
what?
a pantser.
All right, I'll make sure I heard that correctly.
It means I write by the seat of my pants.
See? Now I know.
And I start out, I have an idea,
Yes.
and I kind of know how it's going to end, but from there, it's just like one
So
thing.
then you fill it all in.
I fill it all in. And the characters take over.
So you become that
yeah.
person.
In many ways.
So do you okay, hang on a
Yes.
second. Do you become the angel that does the tarot cards, which you probably become as well, and then you also become the murderer?
Yes.
Because you have to be both, otherwise you
Yes.
can't write it.
Yes. Yes. And it's interesting because some other character will just pop in. It's very strange because you're writing right
And then
along.
Joe
and
from
then-
around the corner, where did he come from? And he's now become part of it.
Yeah, really.
And you then write him or her into it.
Yes.
Fascinating. So you
It
really
is.
don't have a story. You have a beginning,
Hmm.
and you kind of have an end,
Yes,
and then you fill that platform.
I do.
What a fabulous way of writing.
Yes, sometimes I get stuck.
So she starts.
Yeah.
She starts reading a murder story.
Yeah.
She reads a murder story.
Gets ideas
Gets
and all of
ideas
it,
in
Yeah.
that. Well, who was that famous one in England? Was it Kipling? No, what was her name? I forget. There was the famous one in England that wrote all the murders
yes,
and everything. I forget her name, and it'll come later. It'll
Yes.
come when I'm sleeping tonight. Believe
Yes.
me. I was like, oh, I know that name.
Yes, the famous
The famous lady,
Yes,
and she
I know
actually
who you
comes
mean.
from Torquay. Torquay, where I come from,
Oh,
and she
wow.
used to go to the famous Promenade Beach, and this is where she would think of her murders and everything, and or what was going on and everything.
Isn't that awful? I can't think of her name. I know who
No,
you
and
mean.
you know, we both know, but
Yeah.
we both.
This is what
we're both-
happens.
I'm not going to say what you're
No,
thinking.
I am not
I'm not
saying
going
it.
to say that word at all because I'm 39 and holding and not going anywhere. and you're
I'm not
39.
either.
She's not going anywhere. This is your most recent book. How many
It
books
is.
have you written?
10, actually.
10, and they're all about murders?
No, I've written 4 spiritual books about.
Where does that come from?
I know. About energy. And it's the chakras mainly, the body centers, energy
Yes.
bodies.
The body centers.
Centers.
Yes. That body centers are actually in your body.
That's right.
And they
are,
actually, if you want to use them, you can, and if you don't, you don't. You're probably less fortunate if you don't use them.
No, you want to use, well, the chakras are the centers in your body that hold the different
What
energies.
is seven is it, or 5?
Yeah,
7.
exactly. Seven major, and the book that I wrote was 7 major chakras. Keeping it
And
simple.
is that keeping your life simple, or is that, I
Yes.
guess, because all you have to deal with in this entire world is this body.
That's right.
That's all we've got. When you think about
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
I mean, I was born, whatever I was born. Now I've got to deal with it. I've got to
That's
take care of this
right.
crazy mind.
That's right.
So
That's
when
right.
you write about something like that, how do you get, because your chakras and mine are probably totally different, though probably all basically the same, except of how you use them.
That's right. That's
Okay.
right. And one of the second book that I wrote is how to live with them, or how to be aware of them. You and I think, have talked at one point about what spirituality is.
Yes.
And for me, it is, and for you, I think the same, is awareness.
Yes, totally
And-
aware of everything
yes,
that's going
yes.
on. Yes.
And even with the chakras, if you know the colors, what they stand for,
Mm-hmm.
like for instance, red. Red is your first chakra.
Oh, I
and
love red.
Yes, and it grounds you. And it
Does it really?
Yes, and it connects you to Mother Earth. So, and it's all about safety too.
So I'm grounded and I'm safe.
there you go.
What's black?
So black actually black is not a color,
No.
but I put it in the first chakra.
Oh, really?
Yes.
See?
Yeah.
What did you
definitely.
count it as?
You mean as
What-
the first?
As, red is sort of grounded.
Yeah,
What-
the same thing.
Same thing. Oh,
It's,
okay.
So it would be the brown, it would be the black, and it would be the red.
Okay.
Okay, and
Awesome.
that's your first chakra.
Yeah.
But what I think is important is when you look at colors around people, you get an idea of where they're feeling today. If you see somebody in yellow, they're feeling happy.
Oh, really?
If you see somebody
I
in
had yellow
green,
on
they're feeling-
last week for my show, so I guess I was happy. What am I
You
now?
can
I'm
be.
kind of businesslike.
Well, look at your earrings. Those are dynamite.
Crazy, aren't they?
Dynamite. Yes, and those are fun and sparkly.
That's why. So I looked at myself in the mirror. I thought I've got to brighten this thing up a bit.
Exactly.
So I thought I'm going to wear them as outrageous earrings. I thought that'll
and
do
those
it.
earrings are your 7th highest chakra.
Oh, I'm up.
So you go from the bottom all the way up to the top.
There's no in between. Now you have an advantage in life then. So when you're out and you see people or when you meet people, you know by what they're wearing and what they're doing, how they're feeling.
Yes. Yes.
I've got to learn this.
Yes.
Because I don't know any of that. I
Yes.
don't know chakras. I mean, I know there's 7, and I know they're all different colours. I'm not that ignorant, but I've never really studied it.
Yes.
I think I'm going to start studying it and see what's going on.
It's fun. It's
Is
fun.
it?
Yeah.
So that's what, because it's fun and intriguing. Is that why you wrote the book? Because you wanted to kind of give it to people?
It isn't actually. I had a son who died of an overdose.
Oh, I'm so
and,
sorry.
I needed to really get my life back in order.
I would imagine you would.
Yes.
Have to.
And so the easiest way for me to do it was to do it through the chakras. Because the chakras represent different parts of your body,
Yeah.
different ways of thinking and feeling, and it just was the perfect thing for me.
And
so
obviously it helped.
it did. Oh
Now,
yes.
Did
definitely.
it help reading about it and then help you writing about it? Because you've now read and understood it, and now you're going to write about it.
Well, when I first began to look into it, it's in Sanskrit, and it was too complicated for me, which is why I wrote the book.
Yeah.
Seven
okay.
Major Chakras, keeping it simple.
Yes, keeping it
And then
simplicity.
by doing that, I got my life back. I
You
really did.
How long did it take you?
Not long.
Yeah, 2 years?
Yeah, probably about that. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you just
'Cause I-
realized that he was, because the reason else that I had a nephew that died in Seashell Islands, and he got stung by a jellyfish,
Oh, wow.
and within 30 seconds he was dead.
Oh,
And
wow.
He managed to get out of the water. He was playing volleyball with his brother, and they were just in shallow waters right by the beach, and the stingray came along, got him right in the back of the neck. He came out of the water, and within 30 seconds he was gone.
Oh, wow.
And his
Wow.
last words were, "Get everybody out of the water." That was his last words. So his thought system, was still kind of working to help
Isn't
other
that-
people.
that's
But it
sweet.
took a little time to get out of it. But then I realized that he's up there and he's still around. He's playing around.
Absolutely.
He's playing around up there, saying, "Auntie Ninon, come on, behave yourself. Get with it."
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
they do. They stay around.
They do
whatever.
stay around. Oh, I think anybody that passes away, I think they're still around with you somewhere, and they're helping
Yeah.
you and everything. It's like I've never remarried, and I've never really dated too much. And that's funny because I always think my husband's up there guiding me what to do and how to do it, because he was brilliant.
Yes,
So
yes.
I think so. Your son is still around, as you've probably
Oh,
accepted
definitely,
that. You've
definitely,
accepted that. Are you married
definitely.
now?
No, I'm not.
Were you married then
No.
when he passed away?
No.
Oh, you weren't. So
No.
so you had to cope with this all by yourself.
Yes. Yes, I
So,
did.
what's your next book? What's the next one?
Oh, my gosh. The next one is called Death on the Run, and that comes out
She already
in May.
has it. So you've got this one's already out, Angels Out of the Dark, and Angels Out of the Dark, and that's through somebody, a murderer, right?
Well, this is, there is a murder there, but it's also about a pimp. So,
Pimp coming out of the dark.
yes.
I never
and-
knew they were in the dark, personally. They're always out there.
So this is really about an older couple who decide to pick 4 women off the streets to help other women off the streets, and they become the angels,
Oh.
the angels out of the dark.
The Angels Out of the
And
Dark.
it really is, it's a fun book, and it is a book that was written for a nonprofit, AIP, which is Awareness is Protection.
Mm-hmm.
And so some of the proceeds will go for them.
Absolutely,
Whatever.
absolutely.
Because, as you know, anybody who knows Las Vegas and hears about it knows that we have certainly a reputation for
However, it's a different life.
prostitute.
It's a
and
different life.
life.
Vegas is Vegas.
Yes.
A lot of people call it the last city to kind of make it. But they say roughly the length of time that people stay here is 2 years, which I probably think is maybe a little longer now because we've got a lot of people
Yes, yeah.
moving into Vegas. So Vegas has changed a little bit. It's more, a lot is on the outskirts now rather than the Strip.
Yes.
It's just,
Yes.
I happen to love the Strip. I love all that stuff. I think it's absolutely fabulous, absolutely great. So, that's my thing. So the idea for your next book, where did you get that from, and what is that going to be about?
The next book is called Death on the Run, and it is book 5 of the Death Card series.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So it's kind of the same.
Yeah,
it's-
same
But it's a sequence.
follows Rosie is her name, and follows
What does
Rosie.
Rosie get up to?
She gets into a lot of trouble, and this one is she has to decide between 2 men.
Well, she's
yes,
got 2
that's
men to
right.
decide.
Isn't that great?
Yeah, sure.
Yes, 2 beautiful men.
Would you like to be married again?
No.
Okay. Well, she said that real fast, so I presume that means no is no. You have too good a life doing what you're doing.
I do. I enjoy,
Yes.
I'm very much at peace. I love my life.
It's funny. I am too. I'm very happy. I'm very comfortable. I don't think I would have time to sort of. I don't know when I would date.
No.
I don't seem to have the time. Now I've just
No.
booked another show for Monday nights.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, I'm going to do another show, The Next Rising Star, and so I don't know where I'd have the. Where can people reach you if they want to get your book, and where can they get the books?
You can get the books on any book site. And if you go to my website, you can order the books or get the books right there.
Okay,
you can
and
have
what's your
choice.
website?
My website is www.joanspeck.com. So that's JOANSPECK.com.
It's that simple and it's that easy. So don't for her books sound very exciting and very, Joan, you're a very excitable, real person out there, and you seem to say it when it comes into your head, it's real.
Yeah,
And you
thank
just
you.
put it down on paper and off you go. And she's written all these books. We will be right back with our next guest. Don't forget to subscribe, and thank you for watching Vegas Live with Ninon.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. If you enjoyed the last show we just did and all the other shows, don't forget to subscribe Vegas Live with Ninon on YouTube. We've got plenty more coming up and our guests are amazing. So don't forget to subscribe. We'll be right back. Vegas Live with Ninon.